Yeah, we're going into week 2 of UFC this year, 2025. We're starting off strong with the UFC 311. And we're just going to start with the early prelims, go up to the main card, starting with that Tagir card, like Alec just said. We're just going to list who we think is going to win for right now, and then we're going to move on to picks later on to the main card once we know these fighters. But I know Tagir Ulanbekov is being cornered by Habib, so yeah, I think I'm going to go Tagir, going the W.
All right, I'll go Tagir Ulanbekov by decision. I think grappling versus grappling, American grappling, years behind, but I think he'll be able to survive. Clayton Carpenter will survive.
I think Tagir will probably end up getting a submission or either win by decision. In my picks.
I'd pick Tagir by decision or submission with the
decision. All right,
and it's totally not just because he's coached by Habib. That's not why.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Ricky and Bernardo. Ricky's coming on 13-4, and Bernardo's 11-3. So I think I'm gonna go Ricky by decision here.
I'll actually go the other way. I'm gonna go Bernardo. He trains at All Stars Training Center. That's where Habib or not Habib. That's where Hamzat trains. That's where Alexander Gustafsson train and coaches. I think Bernardo. He's younger, has more power, more finishing power. I don't even think I think he has less losses. He does. Yeah, Bernardo.
I'll have to go with Bernardo.
I'm gonna be going with Bernardo Sopaj because Ricky Toshio's showed not much against Raul Rosas. You know, we all thought he was gonna do something to Rosas, stop the hype train, but he ended up being stopped himself.
But didn't Ricky have staff?
What type of excuse is that? They all have staff at one point. Come on, man. Trying to give an excuse for him. Get out of here. He lost.
Okay.
I'll see the next guys.
What? Muin Gafurov.
And the other guy, the Japanese guy.
And then Rinya Nakamura.
Yeah,
I'll go first just because I know Rinya. Rinya comes from that same Japan wrestling team that Tatsuro and the others were on, like Ray Surya, and Dominant Wrestling. Younger, hungrier. All the Japanese guys are doing pretty good. I'll go Rinya by decision.
I'm gonna go Rinya by KO. Showing here on the UFC's website, his average fight time is 7 minutes 16 seconds. So I mean, in his 9 wins, that's a pretty good average to have in almost 10 wins. Rigo, Alec.
I'd probably do Rinya by decision.
I'm going with Rinya Nakamura because he looks like he means business. I don't know these two fighters.
Neither do I.
He looks more serious in his picture, so I'm gonna go with Rinya.
All right, moving up.
Gotta be honest.
Going to Carol and Eileen. Thank you, Tanner. Perez.
I'm going with Eileen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Eileen here. I feel like, especially with Duran winning yesterday, the whole Brazilian Argentina region is doing okay.
Carol Rosa is also Brazilian.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, there we go.
Keep that in there.
I don't know these two fighters too well, but I would probably go with Carol Rosa. Seems like she's probably the most experienced fighter that Perez is going to fight against so far.
I'm probably gonna go Carol Rosa. Her competition is harder. She's beaten Yana Santos. She's only lost to Norma Dumont, Irene Aldana, and Raquel Canuto. That one's a little bit iffy. Eileen's kind of running off of a streak of cans. So my pick's Carol Rosa.
Sweet. All right, now we're moving on to the main card. Not the main card, but just prelims. Grant Dawson, Diego Ferreira. I'm going to go Grant Dawson here. By decision. Because, I don't know. I feel like it is reason. I don't know, bro. I just have a feeling. Yeah, Grant Dawson by decision.
I'd probably do Dawson by decision or KO. He is like 9 years younger than Ferreira. But, yeah.
I could see Dawson either submitting Pereira or just winning by decision. That's just what I see.
I think with how good that Dawson was prior to the Bobby loss or King loss, he beat Damir Ismagulov, Mark Madsen. Mark Madsen's a pretty good one to
He
win
beat someone
against.
after that too.
He beat Mark, beat Damir, lost to King Green, and then he beat Joe Selecki and Rafa Garcia. But in both those fights, he looked pretty good. He dominated Rafa Garcia. I think he's younger. He was on his way to being a top 10 fighter before he got KO'd by King Green. So I'm going to go Grant Dawson. He also trains at American Top Team. I think it's a better team or a better camp than Fortis MMA.
All right, moving up the card. Now we're in just prelims. We're going to go Zachary Reese and Dumas.
I'd probably pick Dumas. He looks like a mean motherfucker.
Out of these two fighters, the only ones I've seen fight are Cedric and Dumas. So I'm gonna go with Cedric because he has more tattoos. You know? Nah, I'm playing, but I'm gonna go with Cedric.
Okay. I'll probably go with Cedric. No man who loses to Cody Brundage is good.
All right, Jayden Almeida and Sergey Spivak. We've already talked about this one outside the video, but I'm gonna follow Tanner's footsteps. I'm gonna go Spivak here, mostly not because of what Tanner told me, but mostly Almeida is one of the most boring fighters I've ever watched. And so yeah, I'm gonna go Spivak by submission.
What? Okay.
What do you got to say to that, Rigo?
You know what? I don't think Spivak has the means to knock him out, and I don't think he has better ground game. He might be fatter. That's literally it. He might just be bigger. But we saw Almeida dump Curtis Blades constantly on the ground before he got KO'd. So I think Almeida's got this one. I don't think the Polar Bear has anything for Almeida unless somehow manages to get him his, airborne and knee him in the face or something. I just don't see it happening.
I haven't seen Sergey Spivak fight too much, but based on what I've seen from Almeida, he could crutch sniff his way to a decision.
You're going Almeida.
No.
Crush.
Yeah.
Right.
He's way more athletic and heavyweight. It's it's just filled with a bunch of, I don't know, like the guru says, bro, just overweight people. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go the other way. Spivak, he's a 265 grappling heavyweight. He has jiu-jitsu. Curtis Blades does not have jiu-jitsu. He has knockout power. He has TKO potential. I think Jailton has run his course. He's boring. Not much better. But
and this guy's calling Almeida boring, but Spivak's the most exciting fighter, guys. Come on.
I just said the opposite.
All right, moving up the card. Peyton Talbot and Barcelos. Obviously, Peyton has taken the UFC by storm, and he's kind of just, I don't know, finishing every fight in fashion. I'm going to go Peyton Talbot by KO. I think this is going to be one of his more challenging fights, but I think Peyton can get it done early, just like he hasn't. Alec?
I'd probably do Peyton by decision. He's just younger, probably faster. I haven't seen either of them fight, but I'd have to go with Peyton.
I'm also going to be going with Peyton by either a KO or just decision.
I'll do Peyton. He's better. The UFC doesn't want him to lose. They're not giving him people he's going to lose to. It's clear. Barcelos is 37. They have no star power, no future. Peyton has star power, has a future. Better striker, honestly, at this point. Definitely more power, even though Barcelos used to have that. It only lasts so long. Peyton's quicker, definitely quicker. I think it will be easy. And if it's not a KO, blackout, cold, then it will be a dominating
Just 3 rounds of
decision.
punching. All right, moving up the card. It was next was supposed to be Johnny Walker, but obviously, he's out with injury.
Skip this one.
Moving up to the main card, Kevin Holland versus RDR. I'm going to go Kevin Holland here. He just came off a rough loss by TKO with that rib injury. But you know how Kevin is. If he locks in, he can, take anyone down. I'm going to go Kevin Holland by decision.
I'll take Kevin by KO or decision. Like Colton said, it kind of depends with him more on like the mindset he shows up with. And if he shows up with himself, he could probably fuck the diddler. So, yeah.
What'd you say?
The diddler.
I would pick Kevin Holland depending on, the mindset that he goes in with, and if he faces any sort of adversity that he doesn't necessarily like or want to go through, then I'll pick him. But if it's like, I don't know, bro, his mindset's different. He doesn't care about like what Tanner says. He doesn't care about. He just wants money. He doesn't care about the title.
Comes to win or comes to get to entertain.
So I don't know. I just I could see him either just losing a decision by that guy, or just finishing him quickly, or just outclassing him. It all depends on how he shows up.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I was originally going Kevin. Like Colton had said, if Kevin wants to, Kevin could be. Kevin could go anywhere in welterweight, but fighting at middleweight against Reiner de Ridder, who is a light heavyweight and a middleweight, it's just hard to say because Reiner is a ground specialist, and Kevin Holland obviously is more of a jiu-jitsu artist than anything. But when you're kind of a smallish middleweight, Kevin's long, but he's not necessarily like too big, whereas Reiner will be coming in as the bigger guy. I just think he could definitely sit on him. Kevin has the skills to find a way out, keep it standing, probably. Maybe even squeak out a submission from bottom, because he's actually kind of comfortable down on the bottom. But I think Reiner might be too big for Kevin Holland. And I think after that GM3 fight, who is pretty tough, and Kevin took to decision, I think Reiner's kind of more prepped for a UFC caliber. But again, it's just up to if Kevin wants to show up and fight, or if he just wants to show up and see how far he can take it. Maybe because Reiner's a grappler, he realizes that it won't be an entertaining fight, so maybe he'll show up. Kind of saw that against Michael Chiesa.
All right, moving up the card, we got Beneil versus Renato Moicano. Beneil has had a rough couple 3 fights. I know he fought Gamarot 1, and then Oliveira and Sarukian. Sarukian is going to be on the main card later that night, fighting for the title. I don't remember much from those 3 fights, but I think I'm going to be going with Manny Moicano after his win from Benoit Saint-Denis. He looked fantastic that night. I'm not sure if Benoit just didn't show up or what. Striking looked good, even with a effed up shoulder. Grappling and everything looked fantastic by Renato. So, and I know he does want to get to that title. So this is a good chance for him to just take one more contender down and move up.
I'd probably go Moicano. I think Beneil is like, didn't he say like he might have retirement soon?
Yeah, he's already like halfway
when
out
fighters
the door.
talking about like retiring, I feel like it's just not the best mindset to have, especially when you're coming against Manny Moicano. Can't afford to lose.
And he is really good, but like Colton said, he did lose and get knocked out twice, but that also was against the top level opponents in his weight division.
Both are title challengers.
And he also is like a good matchup for Moicano. I feel like he might do everything just as good or maybe a little better on the ground when it comes to the grappling, but I don't know if he has the fight in him anymore, so I will probably just say Moicano by decision. I don't think he'll be able to like knock him out or anything, but I'd pick Moicano.
Beneil is talking about retirement. You know, he's halfway in, halfway out, and usually when fighters start talking like that, they don't typically do the best. So, and also, Moicano's on a crazy streak. You know, he's beating all these people and he can't afford to lose. So I'm gonna go with Money Moicano.
I used to be pretty high up on Benny. He was like one of my favorite lightweights for actually a long time. When it comes to no-gi grappling, so maybe the closest thing you can get other than like combat grappling, I mean, Benny's like second to none in the UFC. He does have the ADCC background. He is definitely better on the ground than Moicano. I mean, that's not a question. Same thing, like, but striking wise, heart wise, I think Moicano has more heart. They both kind of have subpar striking. Moicano's on a hot streak. Benny's on a loose streak. Talking about retiring. I think he might. I don't think any of them go in there to quit, but I think Benny's his heart is halfway out. So I'll go with Moicano.
He can't afford to lose.
No. All right, moving up the card. Yuri Prochazka versus Jamal Hill. You know, Yuri is coming off those 2 losses, cracked chin.
Cracked chin. That's
Remember, Jambalaya Hill also is, and an injury.
Jamal Hill, yeah, coming off that injury and cracked chin. He got caught. They both got caught, I should say. I feel like I personally, my heart, I want Yuri to win for him to get that back in that winning column. But I think Jamal Hill takes it by knockout, either early first or second round. But Yuri does have a chance to catch Jamal, so I don't know. I don't know. Like I said early in the week, people forget Jamal Hill pretty messed up Glover pretty bad. So I don't know. That's my pick. I'm gonna go Jamal Hill by knockout.
I would. So like, I think Jamal probably he should win. He's just has higher accuracy with his strikes thrown. He's a headhunter. He has a good fucking kick. But with Yuri, it's like, how much of a beating can that guy take? He could take like all the beating in the world. And I feel like when Yuri like finally beats someone, it's like unpredicted. You know, hands low, blocking. You think you're beating the shit out of him, and then he'll just come back up, like him versus Reyes. He was eating every calf kick, just eating every strike until he got him against the fence. And then he threw a shot Reyes couldn't take, and then he just ended up winning the fight. I'd probably go Jamal, but I wouldn't be surprised if 2 rounds in, Jamal slips up and Yuri just hits him with the lightning, you know?
I think this fight's kind of gonna look like Yuri's gonna be pressing forward, you know, swinging like wild Yuri shots, and I think Jamal's gonna be staying back, you know, waiting for that straight right that he was trying to hit Pereira with. He's just gonna try to, you know, crack him like Johnny Walker with that same shot, and I think he's just gonna look for one big shot to kind of put him out. But it might be looking like Yuri might be winning until he isn't, or it could be the other way. This one's kind of like 50-50, even though I don't like Jamal Hill.
same as Alec had said. Yuri should lose this, right? But I think one thing, the problem is Yuri does have cardio, and Jamal Hill did show that he does have cardio after he hit Glover 5 million times throughout 5 rounds. But Yuri also showed that he went into like deep waters with Glover, and he's still, I mean, they were both gassed. But I'd probably have more faith in Yuri's conditioning than Jamal Hill. So if it goes past like 3 or 4, I might be leaning Yuri. But also in that Glover fight of Jamal Hill versus Glover, Jamal Hill showed pretty good IQ. He didn't rush anything. And like, I feel like maybe that shows pretty good IQ, especially when you're fighting someone like that. I mean, he's picking him apart, and he did not rush a finish, and ultimately did just win by decision. But I think that shows pretty good fight IQ from Jamal Hill. So I don't know if he'll be the one to get caught by Yuri, especially because he does like fighting at range. Jamal's not the best in the pocket. I mean, I don't think any light heavyweight really is, other than Alex Pereira, and Jan's pretty good too. But I think Jamal Hill is gonna win by knockout. It's
Crazy.
a walking body bag.
Moving up the card, we're going to our.
I want Yuri to win, but I think Jamal Hill will win.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Moving up the card, going to the co-main event: MERAB Shili versus Umar Nurmagomedov. I think personally, brain, MERAB. I think this guy fights with emotions. Umar said himself, this guy's gotten pissed for Umar for nothing, right? He fights with emotions, but the fact that Umar is fighting for that family legacy, that's a pretty big motivation factor. I think I'm gonna go Umar to win.
It's the money line.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is a 50-50 for me. I'd say Umar. I think, well, he has the grappling, MERAB has the wrestling. They both fucking do sambo and all that, but I think Umar's just more well-rounded on the feet, and he could probably pick him apart. And MERAB's defense to his body especially is pretty subpar. Like, the dude's hittable as hell. But with that said, he's a cardio machine that clings onto you and doesn't let go. And on the ground, honestly, I could see MERAB just stuffing him for as long as the fight goes on. And then I could see Umar defending it really well. Like grappling versus wrestling. That said, I would say Umar if he could get more done on the feet. And on the ground, I think especially in the later rounds, because I'm pretty sure MERAB's the best wrestler he's gonna fight or has fought. So he's gonna have to survive on the ground. I don't know if he'll be able to be better than him, but he could definitely fuck MERAB up, pick him apart. That dude is hittable as hell. What do you think, Sol?
Yeah, what you think?
I would say Umar by decision. Money line, not even I'll just say money line. I don't know how would that go. It's 50-50. I could see both of them pummeling each other on the ground. I could see it stalemating. I could see anything on the ground. It's a 50-50. On standing up though, he could pick them apart. Umar money line.
I'll probably also be going Umar moneyline because I don't see him being able to submit MERAB or vice versa. I don't really see him knocking him out. Maybe with a kick or something, That's the only possible way I could see it happening. Not with his. I don't think he can knock him out with his hands. But I think he's going to be targeting the body a lot, like Alec was saying, with the body kicks, because his kicks are insane,
Lightning.
to say the least. They're just good. And I don't think all of MERAB's, strengths that he has are going to work against a person that comes from Dagestan. That simple. Especially, Habib's cousin and how good he is at wrestling compared to Islam and Habib. I think Umar is the better wrestler.
MERAB definitely has the better cardio. MERAB definitely has more pressure than Umar does. But Umar has shown more with his striking, especially, I don't really know actually, because I don't think he did outstrike Corey, but he didn't outstrike Corey because his striking was better. He outstruck Corey because the threat of the takedown was there always. Whereas with MERAB doesn't really have to worry about that as much as Corey did, because he knows, it's in Corey's corner, they were telling him believe in your wrestling. MERAB believes in his wrestling. He doesn't have to be told to believe in it. So I think it could stay standing. And if anything, I think MERAB would be the one getting the takedowns. However, I think when it comes to maybe being on bottom, Umar probably would be more comfortable and even better at getting up than MERAB would be if it's vice versa. But one thing is these, honestly, MERAB, Umar, they both could be touched and drop. It doesn't matter. Bezkot Almakhan dropped Umar on the first punch in their fight. And then MERAB,
Henry Cejudo.
and then MERAB has been dropped by basically everybody but Sean O'Malley.
It's all the
So-
left hook, the close left hook that
So-
gets him.
I think I'm leaning MERAB, honestly, over Umar. I think MERAB's more experienced. He has fought tough competition. He is riding that win streak. So is Umar, but experience-wise, I don't know how much this matters to that family, but they always seem ready to fight. But, I mean, MERAB's resume is impressive. You have Sean O'Malley, Henry Cejudo, Peter Yan, Jose Aldo, and I don't think he beat Jose Aldo, but that's just me. But I think at this point, MERAB probably wins.
Sweet. All right.
Like
moving up to main
the last
card.
few Jose Aldo fights, you don't feel like he's lost.
Oh,
Him against Merab, him against forgot his name. You ready for blood?
dude.
Mario?
Yeah. Mario Bautista.
Yeah.
Moving up to the main card, Islam Makhachev versus Arman Sarukian. The odds, one thing that surprised me, and we can discuss about this, but it's a minus 380 versus a plus 300. Arman Sarukian is that plus 300 underdog. Man, I'm not going to call this a lock, but I'm going to go Arman by win or
The
TKO.
fuck?
I mean,
A lock? You're
No.
not sure you're gonna call that a lock? That's
I'm-
a fucking long shot.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I haven't done a lock yet, but I'm going
You
to
gotta
go.
clickbait the title with that.
Armin a lock?
Armin Law question mark exclamation point.
But yeah, really, I'm gonna go Arman Sarukian to win this fight.
I want to just say, Armin arguably lost against Charles.
I think
And-
he did. If you go to the rule sets, he quite literally did. But hey, we can argue about it.
However, I will also say that Armin also has a loss in his record that shouldn't be there, which is Mateusz Gamrot. He won, definitely. I think
It's the same
closest-
situation with the Charles in that one.
I think the closest person you can get to Islam, like at least like in his resume wise, is Mateusz, and I think he won. However, Mateusz is not fucking Islam. Islam has beaten everybody other than that 2014 loss to the Pantoja lookalike Adriano Martins. And I mean, I think he's so dominant. He's young. He's only 33. It's not like he's getting old. If anything, he's like peak. This is peak. This is what his body could be at, like his best.
Yeah.
Young buck got some. He definitely looks like. Wait, don't say that. That's defamation. I think Islam's just so dominant. He's the lightweight
The
goat.
complete fighter.
I'd pick Islam. Armin's wrestling has gotten better, even in their first fight when they did grapple to like the end of it. But he was outpowering him a little, not with the technique, but just his figure. He's a pretty big dude. He's like a Michael Chandler with wrestling. He uses it. Armin is pretty strong, but I think Islam's just more well-rounded in every area, except maybe like the speed and kicks and all that. But I would pick Islam by a money line.
Domination.
Rigo.
Money line.
I'm gonna be going with Islam by
Domination.
a KO or a submission this time. Like kind of the same way. Who was his last fight? Like when he first fought Volk, and then the second time around, he was like, "Oh, I know what I'm gonna do to finish this guy," and he wasn't lying. He immediately started just going for the high kick in the head, and he eventually landed it. And I don't think he even said he didn't watch any film on Armin prior to their first fight. But even just saying that, I do think Armin's pure wrestling is better, but his grappling is nowhere near as good as Islam's, and his submissions aren't there. I don't think I've seen Armin get a submission in the UFC. He probably has, I don't know, but I haven't seen it.
Well, Islam's he's like game for everything too.
Yeah, his
Like-
striking's really good. You know, his submissions are way better. I think he's bigger than Arman physically. Arman honestly looks like a small 155er. He's compact, but he's not that big.
Yeah, whereas Makhachev is like a openly
A
like wanting to go
welterweight.
to welterweight, and everyone calls him a welterweight from like his camp and stuff. I mean, I think it's clear that he's bigger. He's just better overall.
And the only advantage I see that Arman has is having better kicks. Like he has more dexterity in his kicks, but he doesn't set them
he's
up.
so flexible too.
Yeah,
The
he
Madouche
doesn't
Gamrot
set up
fight
his
showed
kicks
that.
at all. Like besides
I don't know.
the one cool axe kick that he hit on Oliveira.
And Islam's
Without-
striking has progressed so far.
He's got to
Yeah.
he's got to show the people, and he shows them.
I think this
and-
is like one where people think it's gonna be like super close, but Islam's just gonna dominate again. I
Yeah.
just think that's what's gonna happen.
And
What
I
you
almost
think,
like
Colton?
Well, I'm going Arman to win.
that's crazy.
Not because my brain thinks so. I think Islam will probably dominate, but I don't know. Something my gut tells me that Arman's gonna win.
But like think about this in the future. Like imagine Arman as champ. It doesn't sit right because you know he lost to Oliveira.
That's fine then.
It just doesn't sit right, bro. Like
That's fine.
I just-
Oliveira will come back.
I
and win
just
that
don't
title.
see the plot armor protecting Arman in this one. I see the
I don't
plot
know.
armor protecting Islam, and then Islam will move to welterweight, and either Bilal will be there or not. You know. I just think that's the best outcome for the whole UFC and entertainment, because I don't want to see Arman fight for the title or be a champion. Sorry, I just don't. I think that'd be boring as fuck.
Certified
cra-
Arman hater?
Islam.
No, I
went
like
from fighting-
Arman's cool, but I just think it'd be boring, like having him as a champ compared to Islam.
Islam fought King Green and then instantly went to Charles Oliveira.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Who did he fight? That was his fight before Charles was king. Was Bobby?
No, like yeah. Bobby King Green. King Green. That's just his name now.
King.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
he
so-
went from King Green to Charles. Like
I thought it was Hooker, no?
no, Hooker was before Bobby.
Before Bobby? Okay, well those are two really good wins. I mean, look
I know,
where
but I'm
Hooker
just
is
saying
now.
that's insane, dude. King Green to Charles Oliveira for the title to win the title, and then I mean, I think he lost against Volkanovski. He's slowed down, but other than that, like everything else has been dominant. Dustin Poirier took the fight to him, but I think he was down like 3-1
Mhm.
across the scorecards. I mean, Dustin always has that shot in him, and he's the boy. So
Islam outboxed Dustin, which is, with the takedown, I guess.
right,
But
it's
even
like
then,
it's like the same thing as the Umar Corey. It's like we know who the better striker is, but overall, like that complete package makes the strikers worried about that takedown. 'cause
Islam's-
they know they get taken down, they can't do nothing.
yeah, I think he's just defensively really good, and just like Habib, they're really hard to hit.
Well, it's almost like watching Habib. It's like you watched a man who like needed to win, and it's like watching Islam. You watch a man who also like has fun.
They'll strike
Even in
with
their
you.
personas.
They'll-
Yeah, Islam. I know in the countdown episode, Islam literally said he'll do whatever Arman wants to do and beat him in it. So-
Yeah,
They'll
it's like
submit you,
he's
they'll-
more like I said, he's like more game. It's like, and that's a scary, like that's a dangerous person. It's like whatever we can do, whatever like strike, box, like
Also, Arman has like literally stated that he doesn't take MMA like
seriously.
So like honestly, just saying that, like you're just not gonna beat someone like Habib or Islam. It's a
I don't
fairy
know.
tale.
I wanted to
But I
mention
think-
too. I know they record these things to make it look like the camp is going good, but Arman does look incredible right now. That's
Always
another
does
reason.
though.
Bro, Arman's
he always
rich,
looks
super
fucking
rich. Arman's on. That's this no other way, bro. You can cut that out. I don't care.
We're-
Leave it in.
we're gonna like blow up, dude. Some fucking full violence is gonna say rumors. Rumors of-
This random no combat experience person on Discord is talking about PED
Dude.
usage. It must be true.
All right,
You're
well,
gonna get hit with like a 10 mil fucking lawsuit.
defamation lawsuit.
I'm playing a character.
Any-
Ultimately,
any last?
I'm
comments
going through
you
ultimately,
Yeah, last comments. None of us have any combat experience. And
We
all
are
like to watch
not-
this.
We are not certified betters. Please do not
I've
blame your losses on us.
Catch you
All
next
right.
week for the next episode. If we do another one, I'll see you guys next week.
Cut that out. Cut that last part out, bro.
Take it with some
Dude.
salt.
Well,
We got no combat experience.